This is going to be a new series that I will be posting. I'm calling it My Take on It All. By the way, I'm Dave Worrell. I live out in Hanover, Virginia, outside of Richmond, capital of the state of Virginia. I'm a retired lawyer. I'm a fly fisherman, a cook, a gardener. I love writing. I spend most of my time out here where I am right now in what I call the Hemingway House. Ernest Hemingway was one of my favorite authors, and I've named my writing house after him. I spend most of my time each day, or a good part of my time each day, out here in the Hemingway House writing. And one thing that I'm writing is pieces that I'm going to be posting about my take on it all, which is my take on what's going on in life. These are just my views. I don't, by any means, intend to impose them or wish to impose them on anyone. I simply put them out for thought. Anyway, I'm going to read this first one. I was walking to the house from a writing shed this morning to get another cup of coffee when I realized I was walking on the apron between the gravel parking area and the backyard grass. On both, yet not really on either. As I walked along, it occurred to me that this was a metaphor for my life in general. It is very much like the road less I traveled in life. The road I travel in life. I am neither fully in the middle of the street nor completely off in the bushes. As I walked, I had one foot on the edge of the gravel and the other foot on the edge of the grass. It was non-committal and safe in every way, neither here nor there, but just close enough for me to hop over to either when I deemed it appropriate. There I have the best of both worlds. I avoided the hardness of the gravel, but out in the drive, but did not get my shoes wet by the grass that still from the rainwater and the dew on it. Looking back on my life, I can identify so many times when I had the chance to take a firm stand. Instead, I chose half-assedly. Sorry about that word. I bet you could talk to most of those I considered friends over my lifetime and not be able to learn of the real me. Does this mean that I have been smart, independent, one not too mindlessly following the herd like a lemon? On the other hand, does it mean that I am just one who walks on the fringes all of the time? A shrink might ask, do I have commitment issues? Do not look at me. I am not the one to ask. Trying to honestly assess ourselves is akin to trying to put mayonnaise back in a jar with only our hands. I see myself as an independent thinker, one not mindlessly influenced nor easily swayed. I do not idly follow others unless I think they are headed in the right direction, and that goes for those I have utmost respect for and whom I have the highest regard. As an example, I watch several conservative news channels on TV every day. At the same time, well, at times different from when I am watching the conservative ones, I watch several liberal, even ultra-liberal news channels every day. It is not that I cannot differentiate between the bent of the news presented and how the particular network presents it. Rather, I prefer to listen to all points of view, all sides to an argument. Since most of what is offered up as news these days is, in fact, opinion and hyper-biased opinion, lousy opinion at that. I watch, listen, and then form my own opinion. There's little short of cat rescue stories that I take at face value these days. Never has there been a more appropriate new phrase in America's lexicon than fake news, and it has broad application today. In a sense, I think I am writing about middle America. and I got a footnote there. Footnote 2, Middle America is a colloquial term for the United States heartland, especially the cultural, rural, and suburban areas of the United States, typically the lower Midwestern region of Ohio, Indiana, Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, downstate Illinois. Middle America is generally used as both geographic and cultural label, suggesting a central United States, small town or suburb where most people speak with a generally American accent, are middle class and upper class, evangelical or mainline Protestant, and typically Northwestern European Americans or of general Northern European descent, particularly Anglo-Saxon Protestant, Ulster Scot, or Germanic Institute, and that's lifted from Wikipedia. In a sense, I think I'm writing about Middle America, or at least what I think the term means. Middle America has a reputation for being less volatile, more perhaps than those of us living on the two coasts. Title: A bona fide political party. During my lifetime, there have been occasional candidates running for president. None has ever succeeded or come close to succeeding. While there has been little less than 20 independent candidates in history, they have received less than 20% of the votes combined. If that is not enough to discourage anyone from thinking, any bright thinking man or woman who might indeed make a viable candidate for running independently, I do not know what will. The very cost alone of launching a competitive nationwide campaign is staggering, as well as discouraging. We can thank the two existing parties for making all possible for anyone or any group trying to compete on the national stage. The election laws in place make independent challenges unlikely, if even possible. While both Democrats and Republicans speak often and loudly about doing what is right, especially when talking about the other party members, seldom do they themselves seem to do the right thing. I must admit that while there are some elected officials in Congress who call themselves independent, they are still associated with one party or the other, and thus simply wolves in sheep's clothing. I cannot think of anyone worse than a Democrat or a Republican afraid to admit that they are a Democrat or Republican. Now, that's all I've got about that tonight. You may agree, you may disagree. I'd love for you to post your comments, but I will be posting more in the future with more thoughts that I have. As I say, I'm not seeking anyone's agreement, disagreement, or anything else. Just putting things out there as food for thought. Thank you for listening and for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.